So this is the bud from the lotus flower and bud design that we use for beginners in our workshops. And I was quandering in the last video what to do with this space here. So we decided to use the lightest teal colour. It's looking a bit empty, but I just wanted to kind of fill it in with something, but I didn't want it to take over. So I'm bringing in the lightest shade, and I think we'll do some French knots here. But my quandary is, I filled in the space here. I've decided to do this little bit extra afterwards, so I've got nowhere to hide my starting and finishing stitches. So there's a little trick I wanted to share with you. I'm going to come in and do French knots here, and I'm going to use this design to actually hide the starting and finishing stitches. So I'm going to start over here. There's my starting knot, and I'm going to do the tiniest of little seed stitches at this point here. There's one. First French knot at this point here. I'm just going to pop my needle there while I get rid of my knot. There we go. Now to do a French knot, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold my thread quite firmly in my left hand, bring my right hand towards the wool, do one wrap, keep the tension tight, put my needle back down. Now my needle should be able to still go through the wool. I've pulled it tight and firm, but not too tight so that the needle can't go through. I'm going to let go of that wool at the very last minute. That's one wrap there. I'm going to come up over that starting stitch for my second French knot. Now I've got 5 French knots here, so I think what I'm going to do is one wrap at the very end of each, 2 wraps and 3 wraps. Let's see how that looks. So this time again I'm going to hold my thread firmly in my left hand, bring my right hand forward, 1 wrap, 2 wraps, needle goes back down in almost the same spot, hold that firm, pull my needle through, all the way through, holding it firm all the way, and last minute let it go. So that knot here, the second knot, is slightly bigger than the first one with the 2 wraps. Now I'm going to go for the centre one. This time I'm going to do 3 wraps to make it just slightly bigger again. So 1, 2, 3, needle down, hold that firm, hold it until the very last minute there. So that one's slightly bigger again. So really small, medium, largest one so far, and I'm going to go back, graduate this down. All the way through. There we go, we've got our 5 knots. Now I've got to finish my thread off, so I'm just going to push this previous knot to one side slightly, bring my needle up underneath, and underneath that knot do a tiny little, my first finishing stitch. That's gone all the way through, so a bit too small. Another one. There we go. Underneath the French knot. And again, underneath this one, I'm just going to come to one side. My needle up, and I get second finishing stitch underneath that French knot. Okay, and bring my needle up onto this one here. And I'm just going to tug the wool just very slightly so that when I cut it, the end pings back underneath and we don't see any of the starting or the finishing stitches. So we've got 5 little French knots, just making that complete, I think. 1 wrap on either side here, 2 wraps, 3 wraps, just to give it a little bit of textural graduation there. Now, if you think that this design would be a good design to make a kit, please let me know in the comments below.